Let's do some easy, relaxing alcohol marker coloring today. Hello and welcome to Creative Coloring with Erum. Today we will create a simple card and do easy alcohol marker coloring. We are coloring a wonderful sunflower today and it's a huge one. It will look gorgeous on bigger scale projects too, like a layout. I will use the Dancing Flowers stem set, which comes with a whole bundle. You get a coloring stencil too. I will show you a card I created using the coloring stencil. Here I swapped the background for a darker cardstock, which looks wonderful as the sunflowers pop against the blue. I also used shading while inking with a blending tool, where I applied dark inks to specific parts of the image to add variation in depth. I have covered this in a few videos and I will link a recent one above. I will use Sunray Crisp Dye Ink to stamp the image on Crest solar white cardstock. And if you have been watching my videos, you will know I live in a humid place and it takes a while for the ink to dry. So I find it convenient to stamp in a dye ink color and then re-stamp in a black ink once I'm done. I will use just 2 markers to color the flower to make this less complicated. But if you are looking for a more advanced tutorial, I will link a video above that should be quite helpful to you. This was done a while ago, but it is one of my favorite videos that I loved working on, and I absolutely love the result too. So I'm hoping you will like it as well. Here I will start with honey drizzle marker and add this to the base of the petal, the areas attached to the flower center, and especially to the petals that are underneath other petals. Also, if you can't see this well in a lighter color, you don't necessarily have to use the same ink that I used for stamping. Feel free to stamp the image in brown ink or a deeper yellow color. This will all cover up once we re-stamp. You can also just stamp this in permanent black ink to begin with because it is an alcohol marker friendly ink and it won't smear. You just have to use your heat tool to be on the safe side for a couple of seconds to really set that ink and dry it. The lighter color that I'm going to add is fresh lemon, which is really vibrant and bright. So it will pop against the honey drizzle. Whenever you use 2 shades of something, be it markers or inks, make sure that there is a slight variation between them. So there is a distinction between the light and the dark parts. I will color all the petals in the same way, adding the dark pigment and then adding the lighter marker. So my tips are going to be lighter, the petal tips, and the base of the petal is going to be darker. For the flower center, I will start with Vanilla Cream Artist Marker and color the entire center with this one. So the base of the flower center is going to be Vanilla Cream. If you have watched me color flower centers before, you know I love to add lots of dots or specks to my flower centers. And that is what I will do here as well. I will use milk chocolate, hazelnut and almond butter to add various sizes of dots to the flower center. These are all from the Water Garden Artist Alcohol Marker set. And the color family is from the Delectable Delights. I will make sure to add extra dots of milk chocolate in a C shape on the bottom edge, the one closest to me, to create a dome-like effect. This time around, I won't overwork the flower center as I usually do, as I noticed that there are some lines on the stamp, so I will get the definition after stamping in black ink. For the leaves, I'll start by adding the milk chocolate pigment and then I will skip the next color in the lineup and add hazelnut. To get lighter tips, I will add vanilla cream pigment. This will add a glow to my leaves. Again, I won't really worry about blending this too much. There is a lot of definition in the stamp, so most of the coloring will be covered up with the veining and all the details the stamp has. Once I'm done, I will place the image back in my stamp platform and use Obsidian Pigment ink to stamp the image, and it will give me really bold outline. And I'll do this a couple of times so that I can get a really crisp outline. I noticed that my panel moved slightly while stamping, not a lot, just a little bit. So I could see a few missed spots of color. I will take my marker, the darkest one, for both the leaves and the flower, and fill in some missing areas. And while doing this, I will also add a bit of depth and shadow to some of the leaves. This will immediately pop the flower. I will then proceed to add honey drizzle to the nooks on the petals, increasing the depth, just as I did with the leaves. These will be very tiny strokes and just on the areas I want to show more depth. You will be able to see the difference right away. I did stem this in Obsidian ink, and I did not use a heat tool to set the ink. So the ink is smearing a little bit, not a lot, but it's working in my favor as I need to add a little depth, and this is helping. But if you are repeating the same thing, do not overdo it because smearing does not look good. So I am being a little careful and not repeating the same thing for all the petals, just doing this for a few portions on the petal. Unfortunately, I lost the footage of assembling the card, but I only just die cut the image and adhered it onto a cream colored card base, onto which I added a few black paint splatters, and to finish I added some satin gold sequins. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I will be back the week after next. I have a watercolor video coming up using a brand new stamp. So see you then. Thank you for watching. Bye.